In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to make your Google Slides work better for you. Basically, how to take items you already have that you may already use in your classroom, like different handouts or worksheets, and convert them into Google Slides so you can see what students are able to do and what they're not able to do. So, first thing is you start with a new Google Slide presentation, just like I have. I just went to my Drive and clicked in my Drive, I just clicked New and then Google Slides, and it comes up untitled. The first thing you always want to do is you want to title it. So for my purposes, I'm just going to title this Sample Google Slides, okay? And then you can choose a theme. There's lots of themes on the side. You can also use a website called Slides Carnival to choose a theme, or Slides Mania. But I don't really care too much about the theme this time, so I'm actually just going to exit and leave it like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm clicked over here on the panel on the left-hand side. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Layout. And under Layout, I'm going to choose Blank. And the reason why I'm going to choose Blank for all of my layouts today is we are actually going to insert our own backgrounds on the slides to have kids manipulate and work with. So I'm going to show you how to do that starting now. So we're going to pretend that we are working with a map. We want students to label items on a map. So this could be in science class, they are labeling items on a volcano, or they're labeling parts of an atom, or maybe they are in math class and you want them to label degrees on different angles, whatever you might want to have students label. I always go to map, so I'm going to do map first. So I literally just Googled blank map of the United States, and I'm just going to go to the image search. And I could have looked for it in here as well. I'm just showing you that there's multiple ways. So I'm just going to pull up this blank map, and what I am going to do is I'm going to do a 2-finger tap and save image as, and click save. So that's one way to find a blank map. I also can come over here and just click background and then choose image. And I could click upload because I have my image right there, but let's pretend I hadn't done that. I can also do Google image search, blank map of the United States, and choose one that I like here. So I'm going to choose one that does not have the states filled in. So I'm going to click that one and then click insert. And again, I'm doing it in the background. I'm not doing an insert image. And then I click done. And what that does is you see I cannot move the map. So it's literally the background for students. The next thing you can do is create whatever your task is. And something that people don't often realize about Google Slides is that the areas to the left and to the right, these gray areas, are great areas to be used for directions. So let's say I want students to actually label certain things on this map, maybe the regions. I can use this text box feature and then come over here and draw a text box. And to change the color of the text box or give it a shape, give it lines, I can make sure I'm clicked on the text box and come up here. So this paint can, I can fill it with a color. I can go to the border and say, okay, I want the border to be bright and I want the border to be thicker so it really stands out. And I have this yellow box with a green border. And then I can just double click and start typing. That I can click on there again and I can make the directions even bigger, which I like to do. And then on the right-hand side, I can make my shapes that the students are going to click and drag. So I could use text box again. I could also use the shape feature. I really like the rounded box for things they're going to click and drag. Maybe here I'm going to type, okay, this will be Northwest. And I'm going to change the formatting first. This is a good time-saving thing. So I'm going to make it whatever font I want it to. It doesn't matter, right? I have ones that are my favorites. And then I'm going to say, okay, I want it to be like maybe this pink background, and I'm going to make it bold. That looks good, okay? And then I'm going to make the borderline. I like making my border lines a little bit thicker. I think it helps students. So I like that. I'm going to click on the outside of it, copy, and paste it. And now I can just drag it down. And saving time, I can just now write Southwest. So now I have an item that students can actually physically work with. Now you might be saying, my students won't know how to drag these. They won't know how to do that. You're right, they probably won't. So what I would do before this slide is create a quick video using Screencastify, this extension up here, showing them how to do it, demonstrating how to do this. The key is to teach them that they want to hover over the shape until you get this diamond shape that appears. So if you just see the mouse, nope, you want the diamond shape. And so for our younger students, that's teaching them that shape of that diamond, but also for any student, it's showing them exactly how to do it, and then their parent also exactly how to do it. So we can say, okay, I click and drag it. And here's the beauty. When I drag it, it doesn't mess up anything below. They can drag it. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I have to have the diamond shape, right? Drag it, drag it, drag it. Now, with that said, let's say they had put the Midwest over here. You as a teacher can now come in when they turn in these slides, click on top of Midwest, click a comment that says something like, this is not the Midwest. Please move this farther to the east, or whatever you'd want to write. You'll also notice when I went to click to do a comment, this little button comes up. That's because I've enabled an extension called Mote. This extension allows you to do recording, give in comments that is audio, saving a bunch of time. So let's try it out. This is a test of this recording. Done, and then I click, it says thinking, and then I click comment. And you'll see it worked. It says this is the test of this recording, because that's what I said. So it's actually, I just discovered it recently, and it works really, really well. So that's really exciting. So that is one way to do this with, if you had a social studies worksheet like this, a map. Now let's look at, maybe you want to do something with a story or an article. So I'm going to click plus to make a new slide, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to change my layout to blank. And let's say I want them to find the main idea of this article right here about grizzly bears. So same thing. I can go on Google and I just searched main idea graphic organizer, or if you have your own graphic organizer you already have in your drive, which I'm sure a lot of you do, you can just download it and then upload it as an image. Now, if you're saying, yeah, but I have it as a PDF, that's not an image. You're right. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. What you can do, so like for example, this one is an image, but let's just pretend it wasn't. I can actually take a screenshot of it. So if you have a Mac at home, to take a screenshot, it's Command-Shift-4. If you're using a district Chromebook, it's going to be Command-Shift, and then there's a button at the very top. If you're using a Windows device, you're going to actually search in the Explorer tool for something called the snipping tool and use the snipping tool. Okay, so I'm going to take my screenshot just like this. And then what I can do is when I go to install the background, choose image, upload, I can look for where that screenshot went. And same thing. My screenshot becomes my background. Now, you may not want students to click and drag, or maybe you do. Maybe you're going to scaffold it where you actually write the main idea in a text box on the side and details here, and they have to drag them to the correct place. I actually really like that idea now that I'm saying it out loud. But you also might want them to write it in. So you could just make text boxes where you want them to type. So right here, I can make a text box. I recommend giving your text box an outline. Now, sometimes I like using these outlines to make it clear they're supposed to type in here. And then again, I make the border a little bit thicker just to really make it clear. And then what I like to do is fill the paint can with a bright color that says like they're going to type here. Okay. And then what I also like to do for students is I don't like to write the words type here because then they have to delete that. I like to go to my shapes, insert shape, and use the arrows and just quickly draw an arrow. And then inside that arrow, I double click and I write type here. Then I can just copy and paste all of that, right? So I can copy and paste down here, the arrows. I can copy that box and then resize it for all of my details. Then once I resize it once for the details, I can just click and drag And there you have it. So using Google Slides, you've made this editable, right? Like basically it's a worksheet. I mean, that word sounds really negative, but that's what you've done here. And it didn't take you very long. And then you can replicate. You can copy these and use these all the time. You could see using this in math, same thing. If you had a math worksheet, you could just get the PDF, do a screenshot, and then just insert little text boxes so that students can type in their answers. So I hope you find this helpful. There are lots of other things we can do with Google Slides, but this is just one method to use. And that again is using the background tool. So if I click on a slide, background, that's the key. All right. I hope that this helped. And please let me know if there's any more questions.